What if I told you that some of your favorite movie heroines aren't actually characters? They're accessories, plot devices, dressed in human skin, existing only to serve a man's story. But before we get into that, let's ask the question everyone loves throwing around. What is a strong female character? For years, the term has been used like a compliment, as if giving a gun a few witty lines and some trauma automatically makes her powerful. But strength isn't just about being fearless or fierce. It's about agency. It's about having choices, flaws, and emotions that exist beyond a man's storyline. And that's exactly where most films, especially in Bollywood, fails. Bollywood has always been obsessed with love, but rarely with women as people. For decades, our movies have built entire stories around men finding themselves, chasing dreams, and overcoming heartbreaks, while the women besides them quietly exist to support those journeys. They are the muses, the healers, the inspiration, but rarely the protagonists of their own stories. And even in the films that claim to be progressive, the female characters still orbit around male emotions. Let's break down exactly how this happens. Take Kriti Sanan's character Dimpy from Heropanti. She is beautiful, charming, but her actions are mostly reactions. Every decision she makes revolves around her father or Tiger Shroff's character. There's almost no moment where she acts purely for herself. Pause for a second and try to name one goal Dimpy has that's just for her. It's hard, right? Comment below if you struggle to think of one. Then there's Kalpana in Kajni. She's kind hearted, confident, and seems to have a spark. But her entire narrative purpose is to die. Her death fuels the man's grief, rage, and redemption. She's not allowed her own arc. She exists to motivate someone else's. It's like her tragedy was just a stepping stone for the hero's emotions. At first glance, Chak De India feels like a feminist victory, right? A story about women athletes breaking stereotypes, fighting discrimination, and winning for themselves. And yes, the girls have personality and depth. But if you look closer, the emotional center of the film still belongs to Kabir Khan, the coach. This success becomes his redemption, their empowerment becomes proof of his integrity. So while the movie celebrates women's strength, it still filters it through a man's perspective, turning their story into his closure. When we think about Zindagi Na Milegi Dobhara, it's a story of three men rediscovering themselves through a road trip, confronting their fears, regrets, and rediscovering life. But even in that male centered narrative, Katrina Kaif's character Lala stands out. She's the free spirited diving instructor who lives life on her own terms, confident, calm, and deeply independent. Yet her character still revolves around Arjun's transformation. She exists to make him slow down, him feel free, him question his choices. We never see her own inner world, her fears, her ambitions, her conflicts. Lala is what I'd call a decorative liberator. She looks free, she even teaches freedom, but only within the limits of a man's story. A decorative liberator is written to inspire change in the hero while being trapped in a one dimensional version of independence herself. If she hadn't fallen for Arjun, would she still matter in the story? Probably not. Dear Zindagi feels different. It's one of those rare films that gives the woman full screen space to be imperfect and vulnerable. But even here, Kyra's growth is built around the men in her life. Every realization happens through a male character. Her relationships define her heartbreaks, and her therapist, Dr. Jahangir, defines her healing. Even when the film avoids turning therapy into romance, the chemistry is framed in a way that still positions him as her emotional savior. It's as if she can only grow under a male's guidance. And notice how few women are part of her self discovery. Her friends and mother barely influence her at all. So, even in a movie written for a woman, her world is constructed around men. But this isn't just a Bollywood issue. Let's be clear, the problem isn't cultural, it's cinematic. Across the world, women are written like constellations, shining, beautiful, but always revolving around a male centered galaxy. Hollywood does the same thing, just with better lightning. Take Natasha Romanoff from The Avengers. She's a trained assassin, a brilliant spy, and one of the most skilled Avengers. But for almost a decade, she existed mainly to support male characters. She was the only original Avenger who didn't get a solo movie until after her death. Meanwhile, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor had entire trilogies exploring their trauma and growth. Natasha's past, the red room, her guilt, her pain, was always hinted at but never truly explored. Her death in Endgame wasn't even about her. It was about Clint Barton's grief. No funeral, no closure, no reflection of her life beyond being the emotional glue of the team. Her solo film felt like an apology, but wasn't it a little too late? Even in classics like The Great Gatsby, the pattern repeats. Daisy Buchanan is layered and fascinating, yet her choices exist to define Gatsby, to shape his obsession, his tragedy, his downfall. She is powerful in presence, but powerless in purpose. Her importance ends where her story does. The real issue isn't that women are missing from cinema. It's that their emotional depth, agency, and growth are rarely treated as essential. They inspire, they suffer, they die, all for someone else's development. Whether it's Bollywood or Hollywood, women are too often plot accessories dressed as heroes. Representation without autonomy isn't empowerment, it's decoration. So the next time a movie tells you she's strong, ask yourself, strong for whom? Women don't need to be written as accessories in someone else's story. They deserve to be the story. And honestly, this is just one of the many things in pop culture that gets under my skin. From weird Pinterest trends to problematic book tropes, if it bothers me, we're gonna talk about it. So if you're into over analyzing the stuff we all consume, hit subscribe. You'll fit right in.